Alrighty, folks, it's your boy MMG Smurf. Let me turn this on, get a little atmosphere in the headset. It's your boy MMG Smurf. We're coming at you live today with some Tron news and other thingamabobs. So, as first up on the plate is we got some unfortunate news in the Tron blockchain. I'm gonna go over to Twitter for this. We have one of the biggest rug pulls on the Tron blockchain today. If you don't know what a rug pull is, a rug pull basically means that vamoose is gone. So Sharktron, and I was calling it on the other one when it came out. I was like, see, this one I definitely don't like, blah, 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 blah. But I was calling it on Lion Share when it came out as a direct clone of Sharktron with way less information. And it seemed like something somebody would put out just to try to get some money real quick. Sharktron, on the other hand, going for like 2 months, started back in September, all the way through October. Launched a few different platforms, launched a game and an app, one of the top Tron apps and top DApp radar apps, and then rug pull. So that was a sad moment to the Tron community today. I myself, amongst, see this one, Shark Invest, Shark DeFi, and Sharktron, lost about 1,800 Tron. It's super unfortunate. Lucky enough, I got in super early, so I got in with 1,000 Tron initially. So I've really just been making gains for like over a month on the platform and using those gains. So it kind of still worked out for me, but like I would rather not lost that 800 or 1,800 Tron and etc. So that's a really saddening in the Tron ecosystem. This is the other platform, Lion, which I'm sure if I just refresh, people were, oops, I'm gonna say reject. I'm sure if I refresh on Lion, and it's gonna show down. This is what you've been getting. Well, number one, you can already tell because it's taking too long, and you can see the little dial going. But Lion's down. I'm just gonna click out of there. We're not going to waste any more time on those ones. They are what they are, which is why we start like all these things with going before we jump into any type of farms going. It's not financial advice. You could lose all of your crypto going into it. I just say the other thing other people say where they go like, oh, only invest what you can lose. But I like usually just say don't do anything that I'm doing, period. Like, because I'm in and out of things. And, if you're into something early enough, then you make your profit. Regardless to bullshit happening, hopefully, right? That's what you're going for. I think this is down today. If I refresh this too, Tron's not up today. Yeah, down a little bit versus Bitcoin though. Market took a little slide. So what we do want to cover today though, we're gonna give our normal shout out to DLive.tv, that platform. Other Tron news for DLive.tv. DLive.tv officially acquired by a BitTorrent token. You can check this out on Twitter. Has a lot of the information. If I type in Justin, yeah, thank you. So Twitter has a lot of the information. We look over here. I'm not sure where it is now. It's probably down a little bit. Maybe it was like yesterday this happened. No, last 11 hours. Okay, BitTorrent officially has acquired DLive.tv. So DLive.tv officially rolled into the BitTorrent ecosystem for whatever that might mean. Who knows what that means for the future of lemons on the platform, quite honestly. But giving our shout out to DLive.tv today, where if you stake and this is like one of the longest running smart contracts on the Tron blockchain / BTT blockchain. But stake your BTT and earn 20% return on investment as a normal account. And if you're a partnered account via live streaming, you get about 70% today, 69%. This will update every 24 hours depending on what happens on the blockchain, like who's invested, who's withdrawn, etc. The demand, blah, 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 blah. And donations, because like a certain amount of donations go into all of this. It could be broken down in their like, there's like white papers and all sorts of information where you can get the specifics on that, but I'm not going into that. Today we're kind of just covering that as like a thanks D-Live. This is kind of where we get our most consistent. So we get a little bit of BTT coming in daily from this one and on our other wallet. But since this is not the time of the day for those ones, we're not really going to focus on those right now. What I did want to cover is, with all the sad news in the market and blah, 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 there is still hope for normal liquidity farms. So like, thank goodness, like most of my stuff is just like in the normal liquidity farms, or we still in normal liquidity farms. We kind of took profit on both and was like 1,000 or so over here, 1,000 over there. And then we had some stuff staked in the DSPs and GXYs, which yeah, are what they are, I guess. DSP took a major dip since its initial start, but we're kind of at the point where we're cashing out a lot of our DSP earnings. So we're kind of just claiming Tron from DSP every day now. And you get the we get the DSP as well, but like it's going down so much that you don't even really care about the DSP. What you care about is the 300 Tron that you're gonna get from this. And then like, cool, some DSP. But since that DSP is so low, I'm just gonna be taking it. I'll take like a small fraction of Tron because I don't need a whole lot. So I'm gonna take a small fraction of this Tron, and I'm gonna take this DSP and I'm gonna roll it back over. I'm just gonna use the DSP in the platform for what the platform's for. And keep that DSP rolling over there since it's kind of made for that platform. Back to actual liquidity farms though. Not even showing DSP for that. But back to actual liquidity farms. One that's been good for us has been WorldWar.finance, which has a game down the pipeline, supposedly, etc. One thing that I also say that I like about liquidity farms and there's these type of smart contracts, and it was also an issue with not so much with DSP and GXY, maybe, more so with GXY, not so much with DSP in these liquidity farms, but was with Sharktron, which is that you couldn't see the code. So in most liquidity farms, you can go into their stuff and you can see the code. I just wanted to make sure that was out of there. You can go in, you can see the code, you can withdraw your tokens from the smart contract directly. You don't need a website interface. And that kind of keeps things up and going. And in the most safe situations, they kind of burn the access keys, and you want to read all that type of stuff. And that's really what draws people into DeFi and the DeFi space. Things like DeFi that promises, XYZ amount of gains in a short amount of time, blah, 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 is doing something probably kind of fishy or whatever the heck. They're not really just relying on market demand, especially, and they could be. So you want to do your own research, but especially not if they're hiding all the code for it. Then you kind of want to take that for what it is and like be like, I don't know, I don't really like that you're hiding the code. But all that aside, this is an actual liquidity farm similar to Sun.io or MFI, the MFI contract, which is what they're probably using to have created this. But we got some USDJ staked over here. One of the safest things you can probably stake on Tron Blockchain, just because it's $34 and it's gonna remain that $34. Like, so when I put that back up, it's a stable coin. So I'll still have $34 and I'll have made at this point 6 plain, which is not like a whole bunch of plain, but I'm gonna claim that. I'm like, dang, they want you to be rolling to get that. Oh, it's only 80% APY for the plane. Like, what do I have in the pool? Yeah, I'm like, I must have a really small percentage of the pool. So people went in heavy with this one because you can use USDJ, which is smart. Like, I mean, like, yeah, it's like the safer thing to go in with. WT TRX. I don't think this is the one that I'm in. Yeah, cool. They accidentally posted 2 of these pools, apologized to people, and posted the real one, which we are in. So we got 0.278. We'll stop it at that amount of WWT today to claim. WWT still doing nice. Again, we haven't really cared much because we got it really cheap. And we got it initially with Plain and TRX when Plain was really cheap. Plain was on like 8 cents or less or something like that. So we got Plain and TRX. And then Plain went up about 4x or something like that. And WWT went up like 100x. Yeah, and they still haven't gone down enough for it to be like, yeah, it just doesn't matter. We made the profit off of WWT, split our WWT, and we're using WWT and TRX from those earnings to stake now. So I'm not even staking with the original tokens. staking with strictly returns, and then the USDJ is something else. But that's what we're using to stake in this pool. But we're in that one. I think we're in this one too. No, are we? I don't know. Only in the plane. Maybe I'm in the plane on the other one. So we're in this one. We're in this one. I feel like we're in one of these plane ones though. No plane TRX really. I swore we were in one of the plane. Give me a second. I just want to look again. It doesn't say that this pool started. We're gonna switch wallets then. Oh no, it is. There it is. Okay, I was like, bro, I could have swore we jumped in this one. I didn't switch wallets, right? Yeah, I stayed in the same wallet. So yeah, we got 10 plane. See, that's ridiculous right there, because I did not use $30. But see, the one that I used $30 where it's super safe, I made 0.6 planes. But this one where I used plane and TRX, I made 10 planes. It's kind of ridiculous. Now the planes are going to be usable in the game. They're supposed to be launching more information about that soon. So actually, before I sell that, I'm going to look into their stuff. Make sure they haven't announced it, because they said they're going to announce it this week. But I am making 10 plane a day. I just imagine that's going to take the price of plane up if they announce something and it's like very soon down the pipeline. But that might be something for me to research a little bit later. Some paper, or no, it's like a pepper. What else do we want to cover? Yeah, but let's check out. Let me see. I want to see what those gains are today then. So let's just look at the max. Max altogether from our WWT to TRX would be 669 WWT. And then from plane, that plane would get us 13. We got 13 planes. I get a 66 TRX. And so in both of these situations, currently, I want to sell. And the reason that I want to sell is because, whatchamacallit, there's not another use case yet. So if there was another use case for it, I would be more willing to hold. Initially with WWT, I wanted to hold at least some, so that I could earn one to stake and split the profit, split my thing and stake, and have TRX so that it would earn me enough, and then so that I technically have one. And I could use it for whatever it's supposed to be used for other than staking. But other than that, I want to sell it because it's kind of just waiting. You're playing a waiting game. That is speculation. It's like waiting totally on what'll come up next for the token. And they do have a roadmap and stuff like that for it. But if I trade into Tron now while everybody else is getting it and thinking pretty similar thoughts, and they're like, oh, well, there's nothing I can do. I'm gonna at least make my Tron. I feel them. You're gonna at least make your Tron, right? But that'll send the price down, and I'll trade into Tron, and then what I'll do is when they do have another situation come up, obviously I'll still have my original farm thing going. I can take that and like use that to split into the thing if the price is still low, or if that takes the price up. Again, I still have my original pair, and I could just use that. So that's like some sitting on both sides, basically. It's like you have your Tron, which would be like, you could look at that as like your USDT, and then you have like your, what would be like your Bitcoin type asset. So you have like your crazy asset and your more stable one. And so play both sides of the fence how you want to, is kind of how I see it. But yeah, made us some decent gains today. Yeah, we're over 1,000 Tron after that, which is like, yeah, I think, let's refresh this. I thought it said, yeah. And so, yeah, again, it was really sad that the other thing went down, because it was really, really nice gains from multiple projects, but we could still do that with other projects. The saddest part of it is just that we put it in that one, and that one went down. So, like, I think I did, like, the math, and it took away, like, 48 hours worth of gains on Tron. So, not the worst thing that can happen, but still, like, annoying as fuck, you know? The other nice thing that we have going over on Tron is bankroll. So actually, if you go out to the main bankroll page, I think that's like the best way to see it sometimes. They try to connect you to MetaMask because they do Ethereum stuff too. But I've never done anything with Ethereum on bankroll. I don't know what that life is like. What I do know is they have the farm section, which we've kind of recently backed out of. We had our BTC and stuff going. That's what was the sadness, because we used our BTC from that, and we split our BTC. We kept some of the BTC, so we still have some of the Bitcoin. We could put it back in there, and I think we still have the banker, but we took some of it and put it into the thing that's no longer existent. So that's the sad part. Again, we usually just take gains and move those around into something more risky. So it's like, try to find something stable to get you some type of gain is what I like to do. And then after that, I try to like risk it a little bit with like the half of the gain or something. TRX banker price. Oh, banker X price. Okay, so this is the nice thing in Tron lately, is the TRX to banker X price. So yesterday we acquired some banker X, and I did 2 buy-ins. I did 1 buy-in at 200, and I like to dollar cost average my buy-ins. I don't like to just go all in at one time whenever I do any type of thing, which is probably why I'm not one of the people that lost all of my tokens in Sharktron. I'm not trying to say that like, oh, I didn't lose everything, but like, you shouldn't go all in anything. Whatchamacallit, I got this originally. I looked at the Just Swap price, so you can go to Just Swap and you can like go over to scan and you can type in a token. I'm doing it right now. So this is what I did. I went to BNKRX. I think it's the second one down. Showed me liquidity and all this stuff, but then it showed me the price. And what I saw was this big green candle and then this little tiny thing. I don't even remember the little one, but then I saw this big red candle. And so I entered at the bottom of this red candle. I was like, oh, bro, the price just broke down. And so I figured the price could go down more, right? But the bottom at that point was like another 100. And it had just fallen quite a bit off, like not enough off the top. It fallen about 100 off the top. But it went off of 100. So it was about the 50% margin. And it fell off quite a bit from its trajectory. So I figured, hey, if I'm going to get in, it's a nice time to get in. I got in. I did 2 buys of like 200 Tron, which at the time gave me 1.2 BNKRX, and now the price of 1 BNKRX is 764 Tron. So that's nice. So I spent about 400 Tron, and in one day it's now worth 1,000 Tron, 1,100. So it was a nice day. I want to do more research on this whole thing. I see how many transactions and stuff. I do like decent research on these type. Whenever they have like all the information, like again, Sharktron didn't have it and stuff, but when they have it and you can like see like how many addresses are in the contract and stuff like that, how many transactions it's sent, how much money is in it right now, 900,000, almost $1 million. Without like, regardless to what the website says, you can just like see the actual stuff and know where it's going and stuff. That's what I really like about things, which is why I'm probably just sticking to liquidity farms from now. I'm not even gonna mention any type of other thing or really dive into those. I'm strictly liquidity farming and trading from those liquidity farm gains. But Gambling Man would say maybe I should sell some of this BNKRX. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that at this point. Just Swap looks like it's just continuing upward, like on a ridiculous momentum. It is being pushed upward off of speculation for them as well right now. There's a new farm that's going to launch for it. So if a new bankroll farm launches, people are going to need Banker X and bankroll most likely to farm it. So you need both of those tokens. And this is the only way to get the Banker X token other than just buying it off the market. From somebody else who holds it. So 2 ways to get that token, and then you need their original token, and then you'll probably be farming for BNKR. I don't know, maybe they'll let you farm for both, but I imagine you're only going to be farming for BNKR for bankroll, which would, it's somewhat bullish for bankroll because you need bankroll and bankroll X, but it's more bullish for bankroll X. Because if you're earning bankroll, you're going to sell bankroll at some point. So think about it that way. It's like you just can't be in love with shit. I guess I shouldn't even go refresh the hour breakdown. I want to go into like the 30-minute. We want to find, like what I want to find is a breakdown. 767 is the high for today right now. And so what I'm going to look for, oops, no, never mind. A high for recently is 807. So it's a little bit off of that, actually. It's kind of like the bottom of one of these big candles. I want to dip downward, though. And then maybe I'll get some more banker. So I'm going to try to prepare for that by selling some, probably. I'll probably sell like 0.2. Because that was the purpose of me buying a little bit extra. I wanted to own one so that I could sell a little bit of the extra. And I said this during yesterday's video, that I was going to buy this amount so that I could sell it if the price went up. And then they have this other portion, last thing that we'll cover on this. This other portion of the website called Stockpile, which is very similar to Pearl Vault or Core. So I don't believe you can just like withdraw naturally from the you can't just withdraw your liquidity, like whatever token you provide it, from the stockpile. Very similar to Pearl Vault, but Pearl Vault allows you to put multiple things in there. You have to put liquidity pairs into Pearl Vault. But other vaults like this, you can just put straight up tokens in, and that's what stockpile is. You take your KRX. Oh no, maybe it's just you take your Tron. Excuse me. Take your Tron, and you provide that liquidity as stockpile, its own thing. So maybe at some point you can move stockpile. I don't know. Maybe stockpile will be like one of the things. But take your Tron, sell it into stockpile, and yeah, and then you start earning that. Start earning dividends, excuse me, off of having that stockpile in there. The dividends come from people buying KRX in the swap. So it's directly the price of stockpile is directly, changed by that, and by dividends from people going into stockpile. So stockpile just earns dividends from different things in the bankroll ecosystem. It's basically the idea of that. And the other nice thing about it, or what's supposed to be nice about it, is that so after you have your stockpile, I guess you can withdraw. I don't know what the withdrawal would be if they actually give me stock. But when you withdraw, you're gonna get to the divs. Or you can roll the divs, which just means you put it back into whatever you're currently staking. So I don't really have much divs. I have like one Tron worth of divs, which I don't know. What would that give me in stockpile? What does it say? Will it tell me? 0.05 stock. What did I put yesterday then? I probably did like 200 yesterday, and it gave me like 11. So it's down a little bit. Get 2 less. It was either 100 or 200 I did. I'd have to look at my wallet to see. But that's how this one works. And this is one that's like definitely like partnered with Tron more so. They're in the Tronlink wallet, like homepage. This is an app they want you to see. So I kind of trust that one more so Sharktron got whitelisted eventually, but I think that's just because they were doing so successful, and Tron likes to show off anybody that's doing successful. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing today. That's what we're looking at today. Saddens day in some respects, but overall, we're still picking up checks. See you guys next time.